Reef
tank.
Fresh
That's
is sponsored by
cute.
Derek's.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Derek's
I mean,
Reef
they're-
Shop
yeah, they're just-
and the
Yeah.
Fresh
they
Side.
grow them
The show is
Check
also
out those
sponsored
little
by
tanks or little-
Tropic Marin,
Well, that's not a bad size,
as
huh?
pure and
No,
natural
actually,
as
yeah, 'cause they have
possible.
quite a-
We also
Oh,
have
yellow.
Humble Fish, your guide to quarantine fish.
All right,
Alright,
so,
so let's go to, we're going backwards, we're going to episode 18.
yep.
Because our sound wasn't working right for some reason. Don't know why, maybe
Winston.
my cord wasn't all the way in.
That's Winston.
Or maybe Kevin kicked the cord or something.
No, that's Cole's right there. I didn't do it.
Yeah. So, yeah. So please
Like,
subscribe,
Don't like,
share,
share, yeah.
share.
Yeah.
Yeah, so episode 18, we're going to talk about adding fish to your tank, right?
Acclimation. Yeah.
Well, it's not acclimation. It's
Yeah.
it's not really acclimation. It's introducing the new fish.
Introducing,
new fish to your tank.
I
know. Oh, my legs.
Yeah. Acclimating
Squeaky
your
chair
fish
again.
to your tank.
What's that?
Acclimating your fish to your tank. Like getting
Well, yeah,
them
it's-
used to the surroundings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah.
I call it more introducing.
Yeah, introducing them.
Introducing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fred, this is Joe. Joe, Fred.
This is Fred.
You need to do
Yeah.
that.
Please don't fight.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
I ain't gonna work. Fred, leave Joe alone.
No,
So-
I got Joe in my acclimation box, but we'll talk about that a little bit as we go on the show.
You still got Joe in the acclimation
He's
box?
still in there, yeah.
Rarely.
Yeah, that blue is just not playing nice. Like he comes right up next to the box,
Yeah.
and like he'll
Whip his tail.
yeah, like he kind of goes like this,
Yeah, he wants to.
and then he
Wants
goes
to scrap.
go under the box and up the other side, and then under the box and up this side, and he does that. Like now the yellows are leaving him alone. The two yellows are like
But the Atlantic blue is just.
Yeah, he's still hard on him.
Wow.
So I'm gonna leave him in there a bit longer and
See what happens.
yeah. All right.
Well,
so,
yeah. So that's what we're talking about, is actually introducing the fish to your tank.
yeah.
Because everybody has a territory in the tank. So when you add a new guy in there, a new fish in there, you can have some fighting.
Right.
So what we're saying here is that you can add a box in there. I made my own. We'll show you. You can buy some boxes, and they're called acclimation boxes, where you hang this box that has holes all over it, put the fish in there, and the other fish in the tank, they look at him, they see him, and they can't attack him. So it gives a chance for your fish to kind of de-stress with the surroundings around, and you'll be able to feed him. Because if you throw him in there and he goes hiding for about a month inside a rock because no one lets him out, he's going to kind of starve, because fish will do that.
Yeah.
They'll either send him in the corner. Oh, geez, I'm really squeaky. Send him in the corner, and just every time they swim by, I go there and give him a beating.
Pound on him. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good way to introduce your fish, is having in an acclimation box.
Yeah. Now what I did, and I'll tell everybody, I had multiple tangs that I added at the same time,
Yeah.
thinking that it would disperse.
Well, it does
the
disperse
aggression.
the fighting.
Yeah.
It does disperse the fighting, but you have one asshole who just doesn't want to give up. That's what's happening.
Now it was the scopa tang that went in, so I thought I was going to get trouble from the two yellows and the sailfin.
Yeah.
I got trouble from the two yellows, but the main one that went after them was the Atlantic blue.
Yeah.
And so anyway, they had him in the corner and they were beating on him. So
Beat them, and what happens? They start nipping at the fins.
Yeah.
You'll notice like the fins being nipped on, and like with tangs, they'll throw their scalpel at them and try to cut them.
Yeah.
So you see he whipping his tail, and then after that, if they start pounding on him, that's where it gets into trouble.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a rib cage like we do, so their organs are just wide open. It's just skin and organs right there, right?
Yeah.
There is like a skeleton there, but there's no really protection
It's
on
not-
the fish.
no.
There's no protection on his organs. So what happens? The fish comes in and hits the other fish like this, and does internal.
bruising.
Yeah. So after a while, your fish just dies, right?
Yeah.
He's on the corner, like bent almost in half, just because he's in pain, and that's because they just attack him.
Yeah.
So a good way to stop that, especially if you buy, well, it's not just because you buy an expensive fish, but any fish you should.
Hey, oh yeah. Hey.
But I mean, it's more human to You know, and it's just adding the fish in the box. Where, you know, this is a big one. This is the one I made. This is out of acrylic.
And that one's you made that one for your Achilles.
No, I made this one for my gem tank.
For your gem tank.
For my gem tank, because the gem tank was like 12 years ago. That was woo, a lot of money. That was like a $3,000 fish back then, right?
Yeah.
So so I had him in here. He was a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this over my tank. This just hooked onto my tank. These little black strips here I got here, they were just to hold the a netting. I had put a netting over it, and so he wouldn't jump out, or they would jump in.
So, and you're doing that because you had a powder blue, I think.
I had a powder blue, but I didn't want him to get beat. You know, he was a lot of money, but still, it's a good, like for me to add anything in there too. It's I would have. You're being smart doing this. You're being cautious about it.
Yeah.
You're being friendly to your fish. You know, you're caring about that fish that you had in there.
Yeah.
So have an acclimation box in there, and so the thing is, you're able to feed him, and you're able to do all that kind of stuff, right? Make sure that he's healthy, and all the other fish around him seeing that the food is there. They're all eating at the same place.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a good way to add a tank, and you can leave him in there as long as you want.
Yeah.
You know, you can leave him there for a month, 2 months. The only thing is you'll have to clean your acclimation box. You want your other fish in the tank to see him.
Yeah.
So you got to clean that, which is maintenance. It's a pain in the rear end. But
so what I've done with mine was I've tinted this blue on the bottom of it. Because what I find is when they're in it, they're always trying to get down.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, you'll see that when sometimes when we receive orders, that their mouth is all worn down. That's from the fish fighting in the bag trying to get out, right? So he's just constantly fighting. So that's a good idea. What you did there is block the bottom there so that he doesn't see the bottom in trying to get there. So the only things he may see is reflection, though. But
it's I put a big piece of like a blue acrylic like on the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I just set it on it. So if I want to, I take it out and it's clear. But then I just put that little blue piece of acrylic on there.
Okay.
And so he can't see down, but the other fish all can see him, and he can see all them from the four sides, right?
Yeah,
so,
true.
But I just found that they tried to get.
Yeah.
And they do the same thing in the runs sometimes up there. If you get a particular fish that
he can see down. He wants to go down. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've done. But yeah, so it's just one of those things that you just don't know, right? And I didn't think I was going to have any issues. And you had the similar problem at Honda Tank. You put a fish in
that was
there.
going to be my pay to learn. Yeah, well, this is a 500-gallon tank, so I had this Red Sea sailfin. I said I'm going to add him in there, and I've got a yellow tang. I got a hippo, a yellow tang, Atlantic blue, flamingo as tank. So 500 gallons. This is a 8-foot long tank. It's like, okay,
it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Like, you guys should leave him alone. It's he's able to go somewheres and be peaceful. Nope, wasn't the case. Was not the case. So, anyways, the other thing you can do also is, like, let's say you add your fish. He was in the acclimation box. You end up throwing him in your display tank, and things are not going good. If he's beaten up so much, it's easy for him to catch him. Because sometimes you'll say, "I'm going to get those assholes out," right? Don't get the assholes out. It's actually getting him out, because it's going to be a lot easier for you to catch him. But the other thing you can do also is that you can put a mirror on the other end, where the other fish see the reflection, and they may leave him alone and think that, oh, geez, there's another yellow tang in here. Let's go after him, and kind of leave him alone. So you can try that. See if your Atlantic blue is gonna do that, right?
Yeah, I've done that in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I caught that blue-eyed coal tang that was being an asshole.
True that.
Yeah.
And same thing like mandarins, like the males, they'll see the reflection on the side of the glass, and they'll lift their spike up, right? Or think there's another male beside it.
Yeah.
But that's another way to kind of stop the aggressions out in that mirror in there. But if you get a fish, put him in an acclimation box, hold him in there for a while. It's great. We had a customer, Valmont, where he bought, what was it? He had a powder blue, and I think it was his copper band. The powder blue was just And what he ended up doing, because he had 2 islands, he ended up putting an egg crate in between. But that makes it difficult because sometimes they'll push it and be able to squeeze between the egg crate and the glass, right? Then you wake up in the morning and
You got one dead fish.
you got one dead fish or one badly beaten fish. So this is a good way of doing it. Yeah, and then like these are the one from Bubble Magnus.
Yeah. That's the one I have, but I have.
That is our product of the week. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, mine's smaller than that one. That's a really nice.
yeah. There's
one.
different sizes, right?
Yeah.
So it's great. Yeah, even like if you don't have a quarantine tank too, it's a great way to introduce fish to your tank.
Yeah.
Stop the fighting and all that. Yeah, we're done with that.
Yeah, we kind of beat that one all to pieces.
Yeah. Oh, same thing like me. Like in the store here, sometimes people will come in here. You'll see me floating some Tupperware in it with fish in it. That's with holes in. That's so that.
Oh
They
yeah,
don't
I
stop
think,
the fighting,
yeah, the
right?
Royal Grommas, remember? Like,
Yeah, we had
all
50 Royal Grandma, so we had them
All in little containers.
yeah, we had them in containers so they wouldn't fight because they would just fight each other to death.
Yeah.
We don't want that. Yeah, so fish of the week, saltwater. Let's go to that. The Pearly Jawfish.
Yep.
That was my selection. We don't have it anymore because this is episode 18 and we're yeah. So anyways, a Pearly Jawfish he can go to any size aquarium like a nano tank, and they're a bottom dweller. They'll go make a little cave underneath in the water, underneath your rock, underneath your rock and stuff like that. So, but they're very bright. They're called a jawfish because they can open their jaw and they'll make their burrow underneath a rock. They'll move some sand around. But if you put a PVC pipe in there for them, they'll probably try to live in there.
Yeah.
And just make sure there's a hole. And what he'll do at night, he will get some empty shells and cover his hole when he goes to bed, like closing the door.
Yep.
And in the morning, boop, 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 he pops them all open and does his little thing. But the only thing is, they are jumpers.
Yeah.
Like, they are seriously jumpers. So if you get a Pearly Jawfish, make sure you close your lid, because you'll find him on the floor.
I find, but that's to me that it's only really at the start.
That's just at the start. Once he makes his burrow, you're kind of safe. But there's no guarantee.
No.
Excuse me.
No,
There's no guarantee.
No.
Yeah, that's why I got this black thing over here. I mean, any fish jumps over that, he should be in the Olympics. So, but it's still
a risk, but not.
It's still a risk.
Once they're settled in, got the burrow, unless something really spooks them out of there.
exactly.
Can't-
He's out of his burrow. He's swimming around, and
Yeah.
a yellow tank comes over and tries to go after him, and he'll flip. Because when we have him in our race tracks here, when we have him for sale, we open the lid just like this. We're scared. We put our hand over it.
Yeah,
you get the fish net. Like, okay, buddy, we don't want him to land on the floor. This is a hard floor.
Yeah.
But they're a great addition. They're only from the Caribbean.
Yeah, they're nice fish.
They're really nice fish with the nice yellow and like the body's white with a little blue haze around it. So it's a very nice fish. They like frozen. So if you ever get one, try to get them eating first, like most fish.
Yeah.
But this one even more. Give them some frozen food, brine, mysis. I really like mysis.
Yeah.
And plankton. I really like plankton.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my fish of the week.
Cool.
So let's go fish of the week, freshwater.
Now I'm going to talk a little bit about tiger barbs.
Okay, Kevin's going to talk about tiger barbs.
I'm gonna talk tiger
I don't know if
barbs.
we already talked about tiger barbs.
I don't know either. I can't remember. I haven't looked down
We're
the
down
list.
at episode 20. This is 18, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like
After a while,
yeah. All right. Anyway, tiger barbs. They're pretty cool, actually. They like to be in a school, a little group of them, and they're known as fin nippers. Now, so you don't want to put them in like with, angels or, betas or anything with a nice pretty fin that comes down, because they're going to nip at it.
They're going to nip at it.
Yeah. So they're a little on the jerk side of the barb family.
Okay.
Um,
It's like a Jack Russell that goes after tails, like squirrels. If they see squirrel, they could just go nuts.
Yeah, so they're known as fin nippers, so you just gotta be careful who you're putting in with them. But as for tank care,
Easy.
they're pretty standard. You can get them quite easily just because they're a hardy fish. Normal tank parameters for freshwater, you'll be fine. There's no special care for them. They're just a nice barb. And they're coming in now in, I guess you get the green tiger barbs now, which are kind of nice.
Okay.
And I don't know if if you can get them in Canada yet or not, but they have the glow barbs, glow tiger barbs.
Caitlin does all.
Yeah,
Caitlin does all that.
So, but yeah, so I mean, tiger barbs are a nice fish, nice schooling. They all hang together and travel together. So, try to get them in groups of 5 at least, kind of thing, just to have a small group of them. But other than that, they're pretty easy fish to take care of.
What's the tank size?
You'd probably want to stick like a 20-gallon, 25-gallon, like a bigger tank for like the shoal, because they do like to move around.
Okay.
So just a nice sized tank. I would put them in a 5 or 10-gallon tank, anything like that. But once you start getting a little bigger tank sizes, then you start to add more and more, like to your school.
Okay. I think we have some next door though, don't we?
Yeah, I think we do have some next door. I'm not.
They're more somewhat green or something like that. I think that's what we got.
I don't know. I don't remember what's over there.
I'll see. We'll take a look.
Yeah.
If so, I'll take a video and
Yeah.
show you guys.
I don't go over there a whole lot, so.
No, we're always busy in the salt zone. It's all gonna change. It's all gonna be one spot.
Yeah.
Okay, product of the week. Well, actually,
we talked about
we Acclimation Box, right?
Yeah.
So this is from Bubble Magnus, and if you can see here, there's a picture here. So there's 4 stations, right? And you can open it up to make it 1 station or make 4 stations. So if you have more than 1 fish you wanna introduce to your tank, you can put them all in there. And there's doors there, so when you want to release them, you just open the door and let them out.
Yeah.
And it's also you can use as a fish trap too if you really want to. Throw food in there, but you're gonna have to be close, so you're able to close the door, right?
Yeah.
So these are great. Like to be honest, like everybody should have an acclimation. They're called Acclimation Box.
Yeah.
The more to introduce fish into your system. So it's made of acrylic. This one's on suction cups, so you just sit inside your tank with suction cups and put your fish in there and watch them, feed them, and so they feel protected. It's not cruel.
No.
No, I think throwing them in there and getting beaten up is
that's
more cruel than putting them in a box, right?
Yeah.
So it's a great product. Everyone should have one of these whenever you introduce fish into your tank. So there's a bunch of different sizes that you can get these. So people that have smaller tanks, I think this is the biggest one they have. It's like $110, but these are more for people that have big tanks that want to put big fish in their tank, so they can make this whole 1 piece. Yeah, that's a product of the week.
Yeah.
Next, pay to learn. Well, pay to learn is we're all on the same subject. It's the fish bullying, right?
Yep.
So we talk about my fish at Honda. I mean, he's healed up now pretty good. It's been what, 2-3 weeks now?
Yeah.
So we're episode 20, so it'll be 3 weeks because this is episode 18.
Yeah.
So I'll take a video of him. He got like his ass like seriously kicked. Like I put him in on Monday. I put him on a Monday. And I stayed there for a little while, watch. And he was swimming him around. Usually when he put him in there, it's right away. They come in and just want to beat the crap out of him. But probably because it was a 500-gallon.
Yeah.
They kind of let him. Took a while to find him. But when they did, holy jumping, yeah. So when I came back on Wednesday to service the tank, he was nipped. Like his fins were nipped, and they were nipped pretty bad. But I stayed and watched, and nothing was going on. I thought, okay, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe
settle down.
Maybe they settle down.
Yep.
No, that wasn't the case. Next thing you know, I get a phone call from the secretary. She goes, I think you better come in, and I think he's dead. He's down at the bottom. He was on his side. Then when I got there, he was not just nipped. He was cut. Like the tanks actually like cut him. And I just got in there and scooped him out real quick. Didn't take long because he was in the corner of the tank.
Yeah.
And he's surviving. So like those fins and all that, they'll grow back pretty quick. But I mean, it was a pay to learn where I didn't use this.
Yeah.
So next time I introduce him in there, I'm gonna bring this over there. But it's just because it's a big display tank. Then you got a box hanging in there. It's like, but I'm there for a fish, right? They want more fish in the tank.
Yeah.
So I need to do this now from now on until I'm able to add like 50 fish in there at once, a bunch of chromis and him.
And you could always like put a little put a little sign up explaining what you're doing too, though. That for just
Yeah,
to
yeah, I could do that,
to
yeah.
educate people to why this
Why?
box is
Yeah,
here.
he's not the asshole. That's the thing, right? He'll put a sign. He's not the asshole. The other ones in the tank are the assholes beating him up. Because people think, oh, he's in a cage. He must have been a bad boy. No, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's my pay to learn. I paid to learn that one. I almost lost him. I wasn't sure if he was going to survive because I thought if they, like I said, if they pounded him, made some internal organ damage, I would have lost him. But no, he's fine. He's out and swimming there.
Swimming
So.
around just like he was before he went
Yeah,
over.
like his rear fin, there's a little bit like some fin rot or something on there. So I'm just gonna cut that off and just let it grow again.
Yeah.
You can do that, right?
Yeah.
Like if you see something on the fins or anything like that, it looks like cotton balls or whatever.
Yeah.
You just take your sharp scissors and just snip that off, right?
Yeah.
And just it regrows like within days.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
Other than that, support local fish store.
Yeah. Support local.
Support your local fish store.
Other than that, just
Support Derek. No.
and like we said, like, dislike, share, spread, and
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Hopefully, we'll
Spread
have
the
another
word.
guest coming up in the next couple weeks, and
Yeah, well, I got a few that I need to talk to there. See if we can do that too. So, yeah. Get more guests in here. That was fun.
yeah,
It was just long, but it was fun.
yeah,
You know what we should have is actually like these manufacturers invite us to go to their
Yeah,
shop,
that'd be nice.
manufacturing shop,
Yeah.
and we do a video there. You know what I mean? Just record all their stuff.
yeah.
Hint, hint.
Hint? Yeah, yeah.
Well, we could do that once we start going to Macna's too, right?
Yeah.
We can do shows at Macna's, like record what we saw at Macna
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah, yeah.
go visit the local fish stores at Macna's in that city, and
Yep.
that'll be fun. And we go there for like 2-3 days before or after. And
Yeah. Mackin's next weekend.
is it next weekend?
Yeah.
Wow. You know, it was pretty cool this morning when I went out. I was surprised. All right, that's
Alright,
it.
guys. Take care.
Thanks.